again, what's the purpose of this class? Is to try to help you find internships and future jobs, and help you provide you information that'll help make you a viable candidate when you're going out and trying to get those jobs. So starting off, where do the jobs come from? Well, sometimes they're created as new jobs, and so the agency finds out they need new positions, and so they'll create jobs for that. And sometimes they'll create internships, and then they find out that those internships should really be jobs. And so that's one area where the jobs come from. And then others is the job replacement. Either somebody moves up the corporate line or they move away and leave the organization. And so now we have the opportunity to replace somebody. And, as one of the things that you'll find is as, the leadership gets older and they get to the retirement stage, that opens up a chain of events that happens where you can step into positions or advance in positions as you move forward in your career. Alrighty, why aren't we moving forward? Let's move forward here. There we go. So the current job market, what the current job market's like. There's more opportunities both in recreation and sport management. There's a lot more jobs out there. There's a lot more demand for people. The downside of it is that there's a lot more candidates. There's a lot more people vying for those positions. And unfortunately, with that demand for jobs in this realm, it makes it some of these jobs less. People oftentimes don't make much money in it. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't make much money. So, as we said, you don't expect to get rich in our field, particularly as you're getting started. It's oftentimes you have to kind of really do a good job budgeting because there isn't a whole lot of money in those opening jobs for you. So, just be prepared because while there's more jobs, there's more candidates, and with more candidates means more competition and oftentimes lower wages, and that's one of the things that oftentimes is confronted in our field. Then you also have to think about, with those more candidates and more competition, what's going to set yourself apart? What's going to make you different from the others? Okay, and that's going to be these internships, these field experiences, those experiences that you got in the classroom, those other opportunities that you took advantage of while you were in school, whether summer jobs. Those things can help set you apart. Those skills that you've developed and that willingness to work hard and make that commitment, make that investment in the future. And again, sometimes people can't make that investment because they have bills to pay. I understand. And so you just have to weigh it out in your own mind. What do you want to do? How are we going to set ourselves apart? And if we really want to work in our field. So in college, you're going through your 4, 5, 6, whatever years. How have you done in the classroom? That's one thing you have to ask yourself. And if you didn't do well in the classroom, that's okay. There's still plenty of opportunities out there. But it's just, again, additional way to set yourself apart from others. I did good work in the classroom. I got good grades. I got this high GPA. That helps to set yourself apart from the competition. Not to say it'll necessarily kill you or hurt you when it comes to jobs, but it's just something that you need to be aware of as a way to set yourself apart. Looking for network opportunities. Again, through your 4 years here, we've oftentimes invited and sent out emails asking you to go to conferences, and we brought guest speakers onto campus, or even getting across campus with athletics, or getting in the community and with other recreation and sport opportunities, because you can build that network, and that network becomes so important in helping you set yourself apart and having people that can, speak positively about you and know who you are. So rather than just being a cover letter and a resume, they actually have a face with that, and they know who you are and what you can do, and that goes a long way in our field, because you also find that our field is a very tight-knit group. Just about everybody knows everybody. And then develop and recognize what skills are needed for the positions that you're looking for. Okay, so if you know that you're going to need social media experience for the particular job that you're applying for, Well, what are you doing to get that experience? Are you working with a current agency to get that experience? Are you going to do an internship to get that experience? What are you doing? Are you volunteering across campus with athletics to help with their social media? So look at what skills they need and what jobs that you're interested in, and be sure to develop those skills, because that's the way, again, to differentiate yourself, to set yourself apart, to make yourself stronger than that competition. That's one thing we try to do here at Coastal, is to give you those 4 years of experience where you're working, whether it's in the classroom, field experiences, internships. We want to get you involved. We want to help you develop those skills in a real life setting so that you can make yourself very marketable. And we hear that a lot from employers, that our students are pretty well prepared when it comes to those. What are the necessary tools to help you to get out there and get those jobs? And cover letter and resume we discussed last time. Interviewing skills, we're going to talk about those tomorrow and helping you with those, and we'll actually practice those skills later on in our time together and give you a exit interview, but also it's a practice interview, so you can get some of the experience in interviewing. And just like any skill, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at interviewing. Interview attire and suit, so important as far as your appearance. And we started talking about that in leadership in RSM 389 when we talked about nonverbal communication and how important it is to make that first impression. Well, one way to do it is through your appearance and how you go to that interview. And so again, it's a way to separate yourself. And where to find the jobs? How do you find the jobs that are available? And I started looking at some of your posts about jobs, and it's kind of low-hanging fruit. Not much research, it looks like, is going into it, and that's okay. I haven't really talked about this. So what I would challenge you to do in my post to you is to find those dream jobs. What is those dream internships that you want? And how can you go about finding them? And that's what we'll kind of talk about here with our remaining time. So active job search, you can do it in person, information sessions. Different hiring organizations will have information sessions. The Pelicans have theirs usually in January, and you can go and sit through their information sessions, and that's one of the areas where they hire. Conferences, they oftentimes have people representing the different jobs there, and you can gain information and again meet the people and get your face out there and let them know who you are. Career fairs, another good way. We have the internship fairs. We also bring in career fairs. Career Services does that. Great opportunity to start meeting people. Career Services at Coastal and using them as a resource. And just plain active networking. Some of the jobs I've gotten in my life wasn't even looking, but just through talking to people and eventually they offer me a job. And then you have job boards, the internet. Teamwork Online is a really good one. And I'll show you some other ones. That's a good sport one. Career Builder is another one. And company websites. You like an organization, you want to work within an organization, look up their website, see what they got to offer. A lot of them will have right there on their site employment opportunities, internship opportunities. Here's some of the sites that you could go to. The pros have Teamwork Online. Some colleges will post on Teamwork Online. Really good source that you can use to find jobs. NCAA has a website with employment opportunities. Bluefish, a lot of campus recreation jobs are posted on Bluefish. Higher ed jobs. You can look under athletic administration and coaching, and they'll have jobs there. TeamUSA.org, jobs. PT Jungle, if you're looking in the health realm. High schools. This is just one I found with Indeed.com, high school athletics, and they had listed a whole mess of jobs. But you can also look at the state high school organizations. They'll have it. Parks and Recreation, NRPA will post it. The states will oftentimes post job listings as well as the communities when it comes to Parks and Recreation. You can go into the YMCA's, and YMCA's page will have it. So there's a lot of opportunities there if you're looking for postings. And you can click on that sample posting. That'll take you to Teamwork Online, and it'll show you a lot of the NFL positions that they're hiring right now, as well as internship opportunities within their organization. So things to consider as you're doing that job, and we'll talk some more about this in the future, but before a job or internship, think about pay. And one thing to realize, it's not all about the money. Look about the opportunity it's providing you, the network that is increasing, and you're getting an opportunity to work with. Eventually, money does play a factor, but if you're really going to be happy in your life, it can't be about the money. It has to be about the job that you're doing. And is it matching up with your interests, your skills, your values? That becomes very important. Location. Again, one thing I'll tell you with our jobs in our field, you have to be willing to move, because you have to be willing to move to advance, and even to get that first job, you have to be willing to move. So be prepared. Location, while we may value it, be prepared that you're going to have to be willing to move around. Look at the responsibilities. What are my responsibilities going to be in that job? Look at your coworkers. Can I work with these people? So anytime you go out for an interview, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you, because you got to see if you're able to work. Look at some of the travel opportunities. Do they provide travel for education and opportunities there? Look at those. Or are they requiring you to travel a lot? And that's another factor, particularly if you want to have a family, which is down there below. What are the benefits? Health, retirement, vacation, childcare. They become much more important as you age. And look at your career plans. Where do you want to be with your career? Plays an important role, and that's why I'm asking you to do a career plan. It starts you thinking about that. Okay. So that kind of ends our presentation. Running out of time. Meet me up and we'll talk about graduate opportunities as well. Have a great day.